No.
All right, let's, I think we can start. It's the Fairfield Bike and Ped Committee meeting Thursday, October 16th at 6:30-ish. Sandy's gonna take minutes for us tonight because Amy can't make it. Thank you. And Alex can't make it tonight either. So everybody's here who's planning to be here, so we'll get started. Can I have a motion to approve the September 2025 minutes?
Motion to approve?
Any seconds? Or second?
Yeah,
Anybody?
second. Second.
Any comments on them? Vote to approve the minutes?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Great. No members of the public currently, so we'll move that down if we need to. Bill, since you're here in person.
Thank you. Well, let me just say that the Fairfield Traffic Authority met today, and I think they approved 6 or 7 items in general for safety, and a lot of it pedestrian safety. There was some stuff about no parking where increasing sight distance is for anybody coming out of a street. So whether it be a bicycle, a pedestrian, or a motor vehicle, those were some of the things that we voted on. What are the, excuse me?
You mean like daylighting?
Sort of, at least highlighting no parking. But at the meeting, Jeff Randolph, who is an alternate commission member, had brought up the idea.
Oh, alternate, oh, sorry, he's
Yeah.
alternate,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry, I got
He had mentioned the concept of the daylighting and bollards, and the new DPW director had said that, there might be some spots where we consider. And bringing that up is we have 2 grants right now going on with Safe Streets for All, one of which has been approved by the federal government, and hopefully at the next Board of Selectmen meeting, we'll approve the use of our consultant, and then they can start work on that, and that's the planning grant. And then we were trying to do 2 things at once, and that would be a demonstration. So that one, we submitted a $350,000 demonstration grant, but we have not heard back yet. We haven't heard denial, but we haven't heard approval yet.
It's a federal grant.
Yeah.
But that's kind of, I thought had with, basically said, we're not doing anything that isn't car focused.
No. We have the Safe Streets for All grant. That's
Yep.
been signed.
That's
by
been signed.
the federal government. That money
Good,
is
good.
still coming.
Fantastic.
We just haven't, the consulting contract needs to be approved by the Board of Selectmen.
Right.
And the consultant has not provided a contract yet. So that is
Really?
why, yeah, so that
A
is.
little disappointing. We were
Yeah.
hoping that they would have done it
I think I know who it is.
So,
weeks ago. Carp
we-
is,
yeah,
I can at least
yeah.
say, that's who the unofficial consultant is, because we don't
They
have a
were
contract
awarded,
with them.
yeah. They were awarded the project, but, so we're just waiting on them to send the contract back over, and then hopefully that will get done before the October 29th, I think, Board of Selectmen meeting. So it should be on the agenda for that meeting, provided they send it back next week.
And if I recall, for our demonstration projects, we were throwing in, it would be for pedestrian and vehicular safety. So we're hoping that is enough of a spin that it doesn't bump us out of that.
Yeah.
If not, and they accept new applications, we'll have to revise it to make it a little bit more car-centric, I guess. But there's no reason why we can't do both, because that's basically been our goal all along, is to improve safety for all. Which is, all users, right? So anyway, going back to our FTA, Fairfield Traffic Authority, one of the things that did come up, where we still have to check with the fire department, but it was also mentioned that maybe we check with the Bike and Pedestrian Committee, is the library, and I have 3 of these, maybe if people don't mind sharing, I could have printed out more. They are proposing 3 parking spots in front, currently where you see it cross-hatched. And there's different thoughts about the cross-hatching. Some people look at that as you can see at the very top of the page, there's a Sharo. When there's nobody parked for the library, you could use that as the shoulder. But we all know that there's usually parking there, so you're kind of in the main lane anyway, the travel lane. But as you get closer to the intersection, if you were riding a bike, you could certainly use the cross-hatched area as a little bit of a buffer zone. But if they now put in the 3 parking spots that's being proposed, then you kind of lose that comfort. The pro side of that, though, is parking sometimes is a form of traffic calming. And there was some reports that people use that as a bypass lane to do a right turn on red or something like that. And so that one is also
Front of the
being.
library. So this is Post Road and Old Post, and this is like the front of the library here. So this,
Well, that's depending
well,
depending what door you go.
this is, when you use the
that
parking
box
lot, this is
anymore,
the
or
green.
like-
Yeah.
These
not
other
many-
ones like on the library,
yeah,
that's where we go.
Yeah.
That doesn't road. This is Post Road over here.
Yeah, your finger's Post Road, that's right.
That's
Old
what-
Post
This is-
Road.
this is north.
I'm sorry, I forget that
It's
people,
okay.
Right.
I'm not used to looking.
Okay, so this is Old Post.
that's correct. The yellow line is Old Post Road.
This is Old Post Road.
There's no space for both?
Okay, and this is to go into the parking.
No, there
This is a
isn't.
wide road.
Yeah.
This is a huge distance.
Oh, yeah, that's.
Well, that's,
Pardon?
I'm in
so
there
I
5
mean,
times a
my
week, I
personal
walk that
view is,
neighborhood.
yes, people do this all the time. I
Right.
see it
Wow.
all the time.
Make the right
And
turn
there's,
from that
there's
lane.
not really a plan to make a bike lane on Old Post Road at this point. So,
No, to eliminate parking, no, it's not a bike lane.
But people do bike there.
Yes.
Right, so
Yeah.
there's.
Yeah, but
There's
there's-
bike
I
parking
mean-
right there.
people park, I mean,
I park, I mean, it's.
If there's,
the
if,
library over,
during the
the library
library
does not have
slow
sufficient.
times, yeah.
The library does not have sufficient parking for
Correct.
the use, and like oftentimes.
They park on the
They park
street.
on the street anyway,
All
all
the
the
way
way,
up the street.
all the way up the street.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're just talking about 3 spaces here, and like, because there's not a plan.
Since they're already parking here, I think.
Yeah.
So we voted to table it. We wanted to get opinion from the Bike and Ped Committee. It was also brought up, funny how you mentioned the daylighting, it was also brought up that if the fire department only needed a certain amount of area, not the full 60 feet or something, maybe we could provide a little bulb out or bollards or daylighting to highlight that you're not supposed to do a right on red
Correct.
in the
In
crosshatch lane.
Anything to make this thing
Right,
safer. I
right.
mean, this isn't safe. Is there any plans to make this better?
We are in constant discussions with the state on that.
Well, and we
It's
have the
part of
road
a
safety
closed-
audit.
Right,
with
that's
the
coming up
state
next
that's
year, yep.
Gonna happen next year, so that's gonna be our time to really get them to pay attention to
Is
it.
that, yeah, because this is
Talked
like,
about this
what's the distance of this?
Yeah, no,
Sidewalk? It's like-
that's,
Well, and because we have the concurrent ped signals going across Post Road
Oh, yeah,
and, and nothing going this way, and then nobody knows what to do with the concurrent ped signals. Anyway, I see plenty of people waiting and waiting and waiting through multiple, and then they're crossing with traffic and traffic doesn't know that there's people crossing. So that intersection's bad anyway.
Terrible.
now just to let you know though, is 2 years ago when we improved these sidewalks, and the state was against us doing something with this radius here. However, a whole new sheriff in town,
Right.
new DOT commissioner, they and themselves are enforcing their own complete streets policy. And there's even a quick build demonstration that we could consider this winter. They won't implement any quick builds during the November to April timeframe, but after April, they will. Yeah, it's because it's snow plow and all that maintenance stuff. But we could certainly get the plans done in that time and then submit it, have them approve it, say in February, and then we'll be ready come April to do
That's
that.
great.
May I ask one question? So they were opposed to this corner, right? Across,
2 years, 2 or 3 years ago, right,
but then across the street,
right,
there's an opportunity, when you're on Umpqua,
yep.
basically the intersection where you're kind of going over
Is
the.
a double
train.
handicap, that one with the double, there's a double, what do you call it, tactile strips there, and there's the landscaping in front of the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there an opportunity to make that kind of move out?
I don't think there's as much space as there is.
Yeah, we actually tightened that radius there before, as part of that project.
I was thinking of tying it onto Post Road, but I think that would probably be tricky because there's already
It's, the state,
backs up a lot.
they're not the biggest fans of bulb out, and it depends. Some people in DOT are slowly embracing it. The DOT 3, which is our district, really is discouraging them, but in special cases, we've been able to do that. I think we got a mini bulb out at the four corners. Not as big as what we wanted, but at least a mini one. I think it extended maybe 10 feet instead of the 20
So
that we
these two
wanted.
corners are the ones.
Yeah,
that-
those are the ones, yeah. And again,
That makes
through their
sense.
own policy, if now they have a quick build demonstration policy, it can't hurt to put it in and over this winter and see. And then if that's the case, we might even be able to get a fourth one, a parking spot or something like that. But like you said, this is one of the busiest intersections, and to certainly narrow that down, whether it be by paint, bollards, or bulb out,
I think
and then here, are definitely things that we're considering. And we even have a that's the demonstration for the grant. So there's 2 or 3 different ways we can get
I feel
it.
like paint is not an option there. That's way too.
No, it would be a thick colored paint. It wouldn't
It
be.
would still
yeah.
wouldn't be enough. No, not for
Most of the time.
That's good. I mean, we need like something vertical.
I understand.
So Bill, is that project to kind of take that as a quick build to this, is that something engineering's gonna be working on?
Yeah.
Okay.
If we don't hear back from the grant before then we would do that.
Okay.
But you can argue tightening the radius, like you reduce the amount of,
Oh,
you know,
we
like.
don't
the-
know that
Okay,
yet.
right?
Yeah, but you're touching the state road and they
Okay.
have the
Even though you
jurisdiction.
can improve throughput
I
of
know.
cars, like even though.
But they're slowly, as I said, it's taking time, it's slowly turning, the DOT commissioner is by far the
You
most
have-
bike and,
Less distance to cross, so the pedestrian light is shorter, so you can increase the green light for
There's
cars.
no headlight there though.
Right,
Well,
so
we're
should
looking at, well,
We
that's
should
the
hope,
road safety
yeah,
audit,
yeah.
we'll
do that.
try
Yeah,
that.
there's no headlight there now.
So anyway, just to highlight it,
Is
if
anybody- I
anybody
guess
was an
is anybody
objection,
op-
if we were to grant.
Is anybody opposed to adding the parking spots there? Like, are you opposed to the parking spots?
That would be- I mean, I would use that. I'm at the library 5 times a week, so
Oh, wow.
usually walk.
I
As
see
you
you
know,
there
as you know.
often. I am always driving and trying to get a spot in the parking lot.
They're really full.
You've got 3 little ones in tow, so I know. But that sounds great.
I walk and bike there and rather have the intersection fixed than anything
Well,
else.
yeah.
Well, that, yeah,
I think-
but
I
but this is the
Sarah made a-
request, yeah, right
Yeah.
now, and we will, all I can say is, it's like 2 parts. One was the parking, the other is the improvements, which will be, as I said, either working through the state, MetroCog through the RSA, demonstration, quick build through the town and the state. So there's 3 different, we have 3 different attempts going on to improve.
Cars park on this side of the road
Yeah.
too.
And anytime there's a program at the library, you can pretty much guarantee it's,
But they usually park after the bank driveways. I don't think too many people park here around the curve.
no, I've never
Yeah,
seen
little
anybody
guys,
park
yeah.
there, because why would you? You're
I know,
covered.
you want to get hit, exactly.
Okay.
We just wanted to throw it by you as a courtesy. It's not required, but since we were tabling it, at least 2 people had mentioned, why don't we throw this by the bike and ped group? So I appreciate that. And then I'll just quickly go over, because I don't want to monopolize your time. As you know, the Route 1 Road Diet Project is going on. It's wrapping up. We have had some complaints by some people on the side streets that people are going around
Anybody named
detour. I don't know.
Are
I
they
don't remember.
Is there any data to support that?
Well, what I've done, what I'm going to reply on is, I'm not even going to look at it until the first 2 or 3 weeks at least have passed. If they're still under construction and anybody sees blinking yellow lights, they're going to think that they could get stuck there, so they're going to look for a bypass. You got to give it time to people to get used to it and whatever, and then perhaps we make a decision there. But I don't think the state's going to change their mind. We're not going to change our mind for that. And there's a couple things we could
I thought it
possibly
was
look
great,
into.
I have to say, like, and coming out of Rural Britannia, I actually did go left to.
Yeah, right, instead of
you know,
worry, yeah.
Instead of going around, so.
Instead of 4 lanes, figuring the middle one isn't used too much,
Yeah,
you only have to worry about 2 lanes, and if you're making a right turn, you just have to worry about the 1 lane, and the other, if you know they got a big clearance, you can go, and then you only have to worry about 1 lane, and not if this car's blocking somebody else. And for a pedestrian,
it also
reduce
felt
it.
a lot better doing, well, nobody, I admit I use Kings Lane, so turning left on Kings Lane there was also a lot better too, so.
Well, we have that, and there might be some other things we can do to tackle that. Again, perhaps bulb outs or something to tighten the radius so it's not so quick and easy to go down a side street.
That goes all the way to Mill Plain or not?
That
Goes to
goes
Bronson. So when
to, it goes actually to South Pine Creek, yeah.
To Beaumont.
Yeah, that
Oh,
area there.
the road diet,
Yeah.
yeah, to like right before Dairy Queen.
I live on Northfield, which is 2 blocks south, so we get that cut through traffic.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll keep my eye out, see if I see any increase.
Is significant.
We got a lot of kids there, but I could give them a stink eye as they go by too.
Yeah. Well, sometimes make them feel guilty, sure. Just to give you some quick updates on other DOT projects, there's signal improvements, 11 of them happening between Meadowbrook and Brentwood on Route 1. And we're again pushing for more pedestrian and ADA compliance and all that kind of stuff. It's still in design for that one.
Will there be a public meeting for that one?
There
No?
should be, yep, there should be. There may have been one already. Of course, it was in June or July, but I will check on that. If not, once I get a set of plans, I can certainly share them or post them. In Meadowbrook, sort of, kind of near Home Depot.
Yep, I know
all the
exactly.
way to Brentwood, which is sort of near the Board of Ed building or Goodwill or whatever tire place that is. This one was a little bit surprised because they said it was going to happen in 2027. But surprisingly, Tungus Hill, Route 58 at Knapp's Highway, that signal design's been complete. They've awarded the contract to Nikon, and the construction will start in April 2026.
That's right in front of McKinley there.
Yeah, it's the closest signal from
They
there.
need to change the signal.
Well, right now, there's only 2 crosswalks. They're making 4 crosswalks, and on that one, they're gonna have all pedestrian indicators.
That's great.
So that was one that,
Is that gonna be like a barn dance thing where?
right. Yep, and it's exclusive. I asked that question. It was, ironically, that meeting was today, so. But I asked to make sure that, it was exclusive and everybody.
That's like high school and elementary school kids using that intersection.
So that's in design?
Yeah, actually, that one's gonna be constructed next spring. If you hadn't heard, most of the demonstration projects are being installed this spring, 2026. We have a new DPW director. He wanted to get familiar with everything. He wanted to prioritize, and then he has to budget for some of these improvements. And rather than try to shove them in and then take them out and only have them up for a couple of weeks, he wanted a longer study period, and so that's scheduled for the spring.
So that's.
And that's a lot of them.
Sturgis,
South Benson, Sturgis Mill Plain, and I think there's another one in there I'm skipping. It might even include Kings Lane or Kings Drive. I might try to get that one ahead of time. And then there's another street in there that's escaping me now. Forgive me, I can't think of it. Grassmere and Post Road neighborhood, that's where we're going to have an RRFB by 2 strip malls and Shoreham Village Drive. There's going to be a road diet there as well. On that one, it's not going to have that middle turn lane. It's going to have 2 lanes and 1, but we're going from 4 lanes to 3. And so I believe there's an opportunity. I'm pretty sure there were a couple of spots where we were able to provide bulb outs and bike lanes for.
Where's this again?
This is, you know where the Fairfield Motor Inn or the Circle Diner is? Basically from there all the way to, it used to be the Hunan Pavilion. It's, I think, a Vietnamese restaurant now. Grassmere.
You mean there's like a new Japanese place?
Yeah, that's the
red
one.
building
Yeah,
on the
right.
other side.
There was the public meeting from last summer, right?
Riverfield comes out, basically.
Yeah, Riverside, right.
Riverside, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, by Riverside Road and Grassmere, yep. Kings Highway Phase 3 is 90% design complete. They're just awaiting our final comments, and then they'll send it into the state. The Post Road Jug Handle, which is kind of that same area we were just talking about, the rest of it is 60% design. I think they just have to work out the kinks with the motor in. I don't even know if it's been approved or not. 401 Post Road there. or 441 Post Road, where the Circle Diner is. There's a housing development that's.
That
gonna
was
go-
approved.
It was approved, yeah.
But the neighbors, I think, are appealing it.
Appealing it, so
and
that's-
then-
yeah.
But then the 830G was approved, so
Oh, yeah. So.
there will be a development there.
And then the last
Someone's
one,
gonna look
the
like it.
last
Nice.
one, which I know some people are definitely interested, Stratfield RSA. To let you know, we met with the consultant and they have had initial discussions with the DOT. We're trying to get written responses back rather than just verbal ones about any raised intersections, raised crosswalks, vertical delineation for a bike lane, bump outs, tree planting. DOT, their first comment was anything that we approve, the town would have to agree to maintain. That's their first, And then they wanted to just finalize which ones we would go for. Some of the things that were being asked, like a completely protected bike lane or an off-road, wider sidewalk or bike lane area, that we would have to go through a different grant application.
This is which road now?
This is for any approach that involves narrowing the roadway or doing these things would be a much larger project in both design and construction costs, but might align better with the comments and concerns of the public. So,
Narrow roadway with just paint?
no, well, one of the things they were talking about was bulb outs and narrowing the
That's what they're talking-
Stratfield Road at the public.
That's what they say is not possible.
That's what they're saying right now. It's beyond the grant and that. But some of the other things they were still looking at. And we're getting, when we get the comments back from the DOT in writing, because unfortunately, what people don't realize is there's like 4 or 5 different departments in the DOT. You have highway, you have maintenance, you have the traffic unit, you have the highway unit, and then there's probably some other group that I'm not familiar with right now. But they're all, and so they all have to kind of agree.
Even though we can't physically narrow the road, you can't make a bike lane, there's issues that.
No, can't make a separated bike lane. Technically, right now, there's a bike shoulder lane,
Yeah,
but it's just a white shoulder line.
yeah. I like what we're doing in like this part of town with like just at least a crosshatch.
The crosshatch, okay, all right.
Because that wide bike,
No, Yep.
bike lane just doesn't feel like a bike lane, it's like too wide. Somehow the crosshatch, the separation, I don't know, it feels safer, I don't.
Yeah, no, they even have it on Route 1
Safer.
in certain parts where the road's wide enough.
Yeah, I'd like to see, that
And-
seems like that should be within their budget, just some paint. for-
And I'll just use if the shoulder is 6 feet and the roadway is 12 feet, well, why can't you make it 11? Have a 2-foot crosshatch
Yeah.
and then have a 5-foot bike
So
lane.
at the very
If
least.
we
I-
have it,
yeah.
right, if-
We don't want to use, I guess, but yeah, I'm hesitant to call it bike lane, because I know when we used the term bike lane with them, they were like, well, then there's issues with parking, so I don't know. So, but a protected shoulder, maybe not call it a
Right,
bike
right.
lane, because I know that parking is such an issue there with Umpqua School and others, like, we can't create a
Right, I
bike lane
know,
where no one can ever
I
park,
know.
it's too complicated.
But with the 2-foot
But
crosshatch,
still that's something.
that's almost giving you the quote 3 feet that they're supposed to give you anyway.
Yeah, that
You know what
helps.
I mean? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Visually, it helps.
If we have enough room, I'll definitely suggest that. I think that was brought up at the meeting and we were discussing that, but it's good
I
to.
think we were talking about
might have
proper,
some-
we were talking about
bike
proper
support.
bike lanes
Yeah.
there, and that was,
Well, you know what? If you have the 5 feet, then you always have that possibility of
Later on.
or you find that there's only 2 people that are parking for a mile stretch, then, for those 2, maybe you just go around, but you have something there. And then you never know. If there's some support, then make it a bike lane and no parking.
it's just, yeah, there just has to be exceptions.
Right.
There's usually no parking except like September Fest and except
Oh,
Sunday,
yeah.
Sunday mornings in front of Assumption and
Right,
except Wednesday during assembly in front of Umpqua, and like there's just surges, like parking.
The police, kind of, or they do a separate permit or something.
Right,
or
that
they
would
have
be- that would be-
traffic control, and then that way that covers
I don't
everything.
want to make things like
I
difficult.
know. But you try, for 90% of the cases, it would work perfect.
Just a crosshatch. I'm fine.
That's okay. So that's what I have. Anybody, if you have any comments or anything, certainly let Sarah know and she can let me know.
Sure.
But I just wanted, I
You
wasn't
got
at
all
the
this,
last meeting.
Sandy, you're
so-
gonna write all this details.
It was a lot.
If not, I could either share this page or.
I don't wanna go into like crazy detail, but I just
Do you have a
wanna
camera?
understand for
Yeah,
where
that's a
the
great idea.
diner is,
Yeah.
you know, where that, there's that kind of involved intersection with
The actual circle,
Yeah.
yeah, that's still being,
The
that's
circle.
being designed by the DOT.
that, yeah, that whole thing is being, but the final design has not been determined.
Oh, no, they'll probably take 2 years for that.
Oh,
And
okay.
then there'll be
Okay.
public meetings about
Yeah,
it. for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I just hadn't seen anything. I was like, did I miss something or, okay.
No,
Just wanted to
They
make
had
sure.
one- They had one talking about the jug handle,
yeah,
and they
Yeah.
said that this is coming down the
Right.
road, yeah.
yep,
Well, there was a lot of comments about the development
yeah,
changing and how that would affect potentially pet
right.
bike use
And
there.
alignment
Going
of
to
the
Stop
intersection.
and Shop,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, well, anybody have any other questions for me? Otherwise, I'll be honest, I gotta catch up on some
Yeah,
work,
I
so.
think we're
All right, thank you so much.
Thank
All right,
you.
have a good day.
good.
Sorry, it took so long.
Mary sent in some updates for Sustainable Fairfield. The Halloween on the Green is tabling, they're gonna have a table, that's 10/26 from noon to 4. So if we want to have them put out any material, we can let her know. There's going to be a winter farmers market at the Penfield Pavilion, December
That's
through
great.
March. So again, if we want to table at that, we can get on Sustainable Fairfield Sign Up Genius. I'm gonna take those 2 items back to Lisa Claire to see if the Safe Streets Alliance wants to maybe table at those, but it'd be great if maybe we could if everybody could take maybe a shift or something over the winter for that.
What was
So
the second one?
there's gonna be a Winter's Farmers Market, and then there's the Halloween on the Green.
The Harvest Festival?
No, she didn't mention that.
Oh.
When is Halloween on the Green?
The 26th from noon to 4.
Oh, shoot. Okay, I won't be.
So I can send these out, and we can, it looks like they have a sign up Genius, so I can send that out. And we have material that we can bring from the Alliance, and then also we have stuff from the committee still too. Let me see what else in here. I think those are the big ones that are relevant to us. Forestry Committee, they're planting 90 trees this fall, which is less than in the past due to new sightline requirements from Vision Zero. That's interesting.
Wait, I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Yeah, I guess they planted fewer trees than they had in the past because of sightline requirements from Vision Zero.
Be mad about that?
No, I mean,
It seems,
it's better than
your
taking.
Vision Zero also encourages you to plant trees.
Right, I know.
So, it's like,
You just put
To
them,
slow down.
my head is just exploding right now.
put them somewhere else, like a little bit further
Yeah.
down your property. I don't know.
Don't put them at the intersection, maybe that's.
Yeah. All right, well, okay. I think that's all the relevant ones for our group. Okay, back to, I didn't get any updates from Santina. Oh, that was the other one.
Excuse me.
Okay, so for the chair report, just a few things to highlight. October is National Pedestrian Month. Amy's been doing some social media posts, reposting a lot of content that Watch From ECT has posted. Lisa Claire, through the town newsletter, has put some information out and also has been posting stuff to the town website that we're reposting, kind of focusing on sidewalks and things like that for Ped Month. And then as far as dates go, Saturday we have the open space walk, so that's Saturday at 8 at in between Perry Mill
Yeah, it's-
Pond and Mill Hollow Park. We do have some folks that have signed up that are not, names I didn't recognize, so that's great. Stratfield School is doing their bike bus on the 24th. Riverfield did ours on the 29th, I think it was. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Really great. We had a huge turnout. and it was awesome. Big
Bigger
success.
bigger than before? I feel
I
like you
think-
always have a huge turnout.
I mean, I feel like it was the biggest one yet.
Yeah.
I think we got a lot of people were just excited to do it. And the police were great. It was really awesome. They
They
did.
show up like in ton, like last year? There's
I
so
don't,
many
you were
last
at the
year.
start.
Yeah, I mean, they were there. It was pretty good. They gave us little, helmets, just like
They
a
gave you
couple of.
helmets?
No, just kind of a couple of like, guidelines,
Oh,
and
told you to
they
wear
knew
helmets.
what to do, and
Yeah.
everybody checked their helmets, checked their
And
bike, and.
Mike Stahl rode ahead too and kind of got to each of the stops and kind of gave everybody a little spiel and helped. Because one of the problems with on Mill Plain, you have a whole bunch of people that are in the side neighborhood that have to cross. So he got them all over to the side before the bike bus kind of came up. So everybody was on the right side of the road this time.
Yeah, that was surprising. It was really organized, that
Yeah.
bit there.
Yeah, that
It's
was,
so good that he like
it was-
did that for
it was great. He was awesome.
tell him afterwards.
I did multiple times. So,
Good to get positive reinforcement.
And there was a lot of police on bikes as well.
yeah, they had a lot of
Yeah.
on bikes, yeah. It was great. And World Remembrance Day, which is the day to remember like people who died as a result of traffic violence or car crashes, is happening in Connecticut and New Britain this year on November 16th. I can send this out because I forget what time it was, but it's at Walnut Hill Park. So
What day of the week is
it's a
that?
Sunday, I think. So if you haven't gone before, it's really quite powerful actually to listen. They usually, I think the lieutenant governor is speaking. Her brother or brother-in-law, she spoke at the Safe Streets Alliance kickoff about how her brother-in-law or brother was hit by a car when he was riding his bike. And so I think she's coming to speak about her experience at the New Britain event. And then they usually have some other folks who have lost friends or family members that speak. It's a really powerful event if you haven't gone before. The Fairfield Safe Streets Alliance is going to continue the campaign. Originally it was supposed to just kind of be through the summer. I think we're gonna continue it on, and then hopefully it kind of just becomes like a rinse and repeat as it goes on. So all the content that's been made and posted so far can get tweaked, but we keep it going. And they're hopefully planning to do kind of a electric bike panel geared toward parents, where we might have police and
that kind of
fire
thing.
and an emergency room doctor come and speak about
cool.
the dangers of electric bikes, but also I did kind of get feedback that it would be good to, like, we don't want to discourage
Yeah,
biking.
that's what I was here, that's what I was just
Yeah.
thinking as you were talking.
We don't want to discourage biking, so if you guys have any ideas on how we can incorporate a voice in there that's still positive on, if you want to, yeah. Because-
I ride an e-bike, and I think it's,
And
or maybe somebody else, just the idea like,
because
I
Lisa
don't
had
wanna
kind of
say
said,
don't
does
get-
somebody on the committee want to
Yeah.
speak? And I was like, I don't know. So that's why I wanted to talk a little bit about it tonight. Because I do think, we don't want to discourage people being active and being on bikes, but we
Yeah.
do want people to realize that some of these bikes can do a lot more than they think. So it's kind of trying to strike that balance.
yeah, I was hoping we could talk about here are the different classes. Like I ride a class A bike, it doesn't
Right.
go more than 20 miles an hour, I have to keep pedaling.
Right.
It's a very different kind of, much less aggressive ride. than
Right.
like
And this
class
is
A.
still like trying to figure out the content and stuff, so happy to have you be part of that. And we were kind of talking, could we get, a local bike store that sells these to kind of come in and show the differences? So I think there is that idea.
Sells both. I looked at Trek and I was like, specifically with that in mind,
Yeah,
I even looked at their website because I was just curious. They don't sell the kind of things that we see kids riding downtown. I don't even know if it's the same kind of. I was like, where do I find them? I ended up like on Marketplace because I was like,
Really?
where are they?
Yeah, with the fat tires, like those there's like.
Yeah, they're really-
They're like motorbikes.
They're like dirt bikes.
Yeah, Trek isn't going to be selling those.
I got passed by a kid pulling out of Fairfield Prep yesterday, going northbound on whatever that is, Benson.
Benson.
I was doing 35 and he passed me on the bike lane.
That's crazy.
No helmet, tie flapping in the wind.
Yeah, That's a bike that's been modified.
I feel like the panel should really have an educational focus because all the moms of Fairfield are saying how dangerous they are. We know
See
that.
postcards.
Like, I think it's about, should really be about how to choose the right bike, how to ride
I think that is
safely,
the goal.
and then,
Yeah.
yeah.
I will just say,
Don't just say it kills people.
I'm just
No,
starting.
I think that is the goal, but it's
Yeah.
also, and I think hopefully we'll be able to kind of use the public schools, communications
laws are.
direct. Yeah, totally.
I'm not
To
even
target
clear
it
what
for
that's-
parents though, like,
Yeah.
that's like the audience we're really trying to reach.
I don't know if it'll be helpful, but I'm just starting work with a colleague on the other panel discussion for a conference, a transportation conference in New Jersey. And the topic that we've kind of seized on is micro-mobility regulation and communications. Like, how do the different cities and towns address it? And it looks like Asbury Park has done a lot.
What has?
Asbury Park, on the Jersey Shore, has done a lot. And so you may want to just see.
Okay.
As I said, I haven't gotten that far, or I would just hand you the stuff, but
What is your date? When is this date?
I don't think there's
ours is April. And so
This is very far
we're
away.
just in the midst of putting together a proposal, like, we might very well be rejected.
It's actually a good time. I wonder if we should have it, because I bet lots of people.
Well, so there
are getting
was-
this stuff for the spring.
There was talk about trying to get something on the books before the end of the year because Christmas and the holidays and people using this as buying their kids' stuff, but then also if we could maybe repeat it in the spring when people are gonna be more active using it, so that was the
Is it
two.
gonna be in person?
It would be in person, likely at the library.
Maybe it can be videotaped so that it's
Videotaped.
recorded.
I feel your pain.
So that's where we're really early. Anya, if you want to be involved in the planning, happy to have you. If anybody else wants, like Adrienne, if you end up having some capacity since you have experience with this stuff, happy to have you involved in that too.
Yeah, sure.
Anybody else, definitely.
Definitely check Asbury Park and see what, because I think both on the communications front and the regulation front.
I would like to maybe even use Moms of Fairfield and see if I can recruit some moms who have chosen to buy those bikes. They can reach out to me privately.
Yeah.
And I'm curious like where they bought it and how they made that choice
Yeah.
and what information they like. 'Cause that's sort of like our audience.
It
Right.
also might,
Yeah,
it
no, you're
might be
right.
worth doing some sort of survey to parents to see, like,
I was thinking like an interview-based survey,
it could
basically.
be like a 5-question survey, like something super short that people will,
But I don't,
this survey will take you 2 minutes to respond.
I wanted more of an interview. I want to understand what they're thinking and how they're going choices.
I think that's a good kind of research. I would love to know.
Yeah, maybe talk to like just 3 or 5 parents who've chosen to get these bikes and understand their journeys.
Think about it too, so that, especially, I'm thinking specifically teenagers and older teenagers, it's not a car, so you don't have that expense, but you're improving their mobility, so we don't
Yeah,
have
it's
to
great.
schlep them
No, I
around.
It's great.
Well, that's
Yeah.
In that way.
good.
Yeah.
That's why we don't want to discourage. And there's Anya and I both feel you have to give your kids independence, right?
Sure.
And the pendulum has swung so far the other way that.
Mhm.
So anyway, I think there's a lot of good, but I did make that feedback, so it's still a work in progress. Okay, Bill touched on.
Are you gonna put me, who do I need to talk?
I just need to talk to Lisa. Bill, I think, hit my other ones. There's the active transportation micro grant. I think Health was going to apply to do like the bike repair stations. If anybody else has any other ideas.
I'm not
on
sure.
Who's doing it?
The active transportation micro grant, so that's through, you have to go through MetroCog, but it's very, we've talked about this before, it's very specific for like bike helmets, bike repair stations, bike locks, educational campaigns. So the town got a grant for the Safe Streets Alliance campaign. Individual schools can apply, like every department can apply, it's pretty open. It's up to $5,000. So Health, I believe, is planning to apply to get some money to, for the bike repair stations. I've heard that there's a few of them in Tina mentioned a couple months ago that need repair or changing out, so they're gonna do that. But if anybody has any other ideas, we just would need to partner with a department in town.
Maybe education.
We need an idea for the grant though.
Well, but you
So-
could, you could do more of it, associate, like, doesn't Ludlow have like a car repair? They could have a bike repair, teach kids how to repair bikes.
We need somebody who's gonna like champion that
You know, there's a guy,
and pull
the
together.
guy who's the head of Bike New York lives in Westport.
Hmm.
And they're, I know his name.
There's a guy who leads a lot of bike Westport stuff, so that's not the same guy. He rides like an electric cargo bike with his kids.
Hadziba is his last name. I'm blanking on his first name. But, you know, Bike New York, one of their big
Yeah.
initiatives is teaching people how to ride bikes and then teaching, and it's a workforce thing to teach people how to repair bikes. So extending that, you know, as electric bikes become more of a thing,
Yeah.
that might be a valid extension. I don't know how to execute that one.
I'm not really sure I know how to execute that one either.
But he might be able to tell us what's involved in that, I'm
Yeah.
sure I could get him on the phone.
Right, well, why don't we do that and see
Ken
what you find out.
Hadziba.
Okay.
He's super nice.
It's a good start.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do
So,
that and
like, if
see.
we can figure out if they are off, maybe like New York does do instruction on, you know, like workforce training on that,
Yeah.
we could find out what's involved.
I mean, doesn't REI do those type of things? Like, the bikes? Yeah. But then,
I mean, we wanted to host an event and we needed money to do that. I think that's the type of thing.
Who's paying for this education program for parents that you guys are talking
I don't think there's gonna be a lot of cost associated with that, but the Fairfield Safe Streets Alliance, I don't think they've used the full $1,000 that they got from.
'cause if you invite like is it bike store called psychology or something like that on the
Yeah.
post road, like maybe they would want to go. I don't know. Free advertising for them as well.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Sound Cyclist is offered to host two
Yeah.
different shops. I'm sure if we ask them for repair focus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they're very cheap. I think they would prefer to get paid for their budget, but it's, it's not a lot.
Right.
They're not profiting on this.
Right.
They just want to recoup their own costs.
Okay. Right. Let's move on to committee member reports. So Alex couldn't be here, but he sent an update. Looks like he's been working on the website review, still in process. And then as far as the Greenway goes, we do have support from the Conservation Department to kind of pursue a planning grant for the North-South Walking Trail. And Andrea, the grants manager, has kind of given Alex and Mike some next steps kind of on that. So that's moving forward for now.
We met with her and Tim Bishop right after the last meeting last month and had a really good meeting. It was interesting to understand Tim's point, all
Yeah.
the things he's contending with. It's like,
Yeah, it
you think
was-
you know one thing and you hear how much more complex it is from their side, so.
And Tim, mentioned that they are kind of looking at ways to connect open space already. So, which is why the Mill Hollow, Perry's Mill Pond was so appropriate, because we literally talked about how they were just doing stuff there to connect the two spaces. So, it's not like it's a totally novel idea. It's just, there's different priorities too. Tim is also balancing conserving our open space.
So this is the part I didn't really appreciate before, which was, you know,
Like,
it's
do we-
conservation department, what, just, it's in the name, like they're, you have
Do
to
we
take
want
care of it,
people
and there's,
walking through
Exactly.
every part of our open space? Probably not.
But
But
you need trails, so you need to maintain them.
right, exactly. So
then
it was a good conversation though. And I think it was also kind of appreciated, like we could kind of look at this in phases and, you know, there might be phases that never get completed, but like we're still making progress on getting a larger walking trail for folks, so. So that was good.
I gotta split.
Thanks, Mike.
See you
All
next
right,
Here.
Take care. See you Saturday.
anybody have anything else to report?
Do we want to talk at all about the complete streets policy?
Yes. Does anybody have anything other than that to talk about?
No.
Okay. All right, the floor is yours, Sandy.
You gave me a couple things you wanted me to fix up, and
Yes.
I haven't quite finished that.
Okay.
I was gonna get it done today, but
Okay, I did give Bill, so where we are is we have a draft of the complete streets policy. Sandy, Adrian, myself, Amy have all kind of looked at it. We're trying to do some consolidation on where things we felt they were kind of redundant. We're also trying to make sure that the policy hits on all the big ticket items from Smart Growth America. So kind of doing a side-by-side compare during the consolidation process. And there's a few things Sandy was gonna research too. So if anybody hasn't looked at it yet, I guess Francisco, Anya,
I haven't.
you can take a look at probably this draft
Okay.
now-ish. And then we do have to start getting conversations going with plan and zoning, engineering, DPW, to make sure everybody's kind of on the same page. So I did give both Emmeline and Bill kind of a heads up that it's, that we're working on it and we're hoping to have conversations with them. I think likely, plan and zoning would be after the November election and they have their new members. So it's looking like towards the end of the year to really.
It was cool to see it again. The one thing that I wanted to remark on, and I couldn't comment on it. Now I can get into it, so like that's a big plus, but I sent you a request.
Yeah,
For
I
editing
responded
privileges.
that this morning.
I'm
Oh,
sorry, I
you
was
weren't in
working,
there. Okay.
so I haven't looked again, but
Okay.
I thought I might see
Let me know if
something
you still
like,
have trouble.
I will look and see, but I wouldn't have had a chance in the interim since I made that request. And I was a little shy of putting comments while you were in the midst of working on it
That's okay.
anyway. The one thing I'm wondering is there's a lot of different entities that are expected to do reviews under, and in some cases, it's under different circumstances, but in some
Yeah.
cases, and I feel like, could we somehow package all that together and say, these are the entities that have to review, this is the sequence in which they review, and these are the circumstances where these,
Isn't that, I think Jeff did put that in the appendix. I think there's.
I feel, 'cause it feels so like as you're reading, it's like, wait,
like a
but
matrix kind of thing, or,
I think there is one.
yeah,
I think it's in the back.
yeah.
I wonder, but is there a reason that it's not all kind of in the same place in the,
You mean the
Primary.
approvals?
yeah.
So
I mean, that's why I could just be wrong, I just.
Well, I think I kind of got stuck, we were talking about public engagement and that was scattered throughout. And when you're looking at the smart growth criteria, there's not really a home. So I think that might be, we just are gonna have to decide like where the home is for that. So to your point, we might wanna pull that out and decide that there's a new home for it.
Yeah, I was about to say, if we hit all the points, even if they're not in the order that Smart Growth America.
I mean, it is pretty prescriptive, but we can make educated decisions on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's why I didn't, I didn't want to be trampling on it while you were in the
Oh,
midst of
that's all
dealing with
right. You
it,
can
and
trample on it.
I also, I was like, I could just be wrong, because I know that Smart Growth America does have a lot of
I tried to
rules.
pull out the scoring stuff. That's what I put in that one PDF. So as I'm going through it, I'm kind of referring back to it to see if it's like, you can pull some stuff from where it is.
Yeah, and the metrics still bewilder me.
Yeah, I
have
don't-
no idea.
I don't know what we're gonna do about that, to be honest, so.
I just have no idea.
Is, cause I have a link from, I don't know,
I'll send
very
you.
open, like,
I'll send
send me
you.
a new one, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I feel like I will make it worse, because I'd be inclined to just totally disregard Smart Growth America and say, here's a rational, this seems to me like a rational way of doing it, and I have a feeling that
yeah.
won't fly.
I mean, I don't know, it might. I've thought about that too. Let's just,
I'm gonna
let's
hold on.
highlight what, like, pick a way to highlight what you're seeing, and then we'll try and figure out where the right spot.
Yeah, I was
could be
thinking
is.
that maybe there's a way of color coding it or putting numbers
Yeah,
in, but I didn't want to, like,
just, this is still our doc, so go ahead. I agree, it still feels a little
Very drafty.
scattered.
Okay.
Well, just the same themes pop up in multiple places. And it does read weird when you're trying to do that, when you're like just trying to get a score on a matrix. So we have to make like educated decisions on where we're comfortable,
Yeah.
maybe not getting the 4 points, you know? Anyway.
yeah,
okay.
I was,
Don't be shy, Adrian. My feelings won't be hurt.
well, it's also, but it's just a
Welcome any-
headache, like, I don't want to
any,
create a
input.
headache that, where I'm just wrong, you know, like,
I don't-
Smart Growth America has these very, you know,
But that's not, like, we have to have a policy that makes sense and that people can understand.
I mean, how much does it matter whether Smart Growth America
That's what I
approves
haven't
of
been
this?
able to get a
That's
good
what
answer on.
I'm
not
also
sure.
unclear about.
I'm not sure. There's like there's a grant component, like an ability to get grants by having a high scoring policy, but like I don't know that we have to worry about like a 98 versus a 94.
Yeah.
So that's where I personally am at on.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Anybody else have any other business? Great. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right.
So is this the right address?